What's going on, guys? My name is Aldeniro and welcome to episode 34 of my Leicester City career mode on FIFA 15. We're starting this episode off at Loftus Road with a game against QPR, who are a team who have quite a good record against us. We've only ever beaten them once overall, which was this season actually in the snow, I think, or was no, it was the snow was the win against Sunderland. But we did get a win against QPR. As you can see, we can't really afford to slip up here because Arsenal in the league are hot on our heels, and any kind of slip up would lead to them overtaking us, and that's due to our poor form in the last episode essentially. But I don't have a question for you guys today. Well, no, I guess I do. My question is kind of just looking for suggestions here. Let's say I do get fourth place, which we don't know is a probability just yet, but it's a possibility. Let's say I even finish fifth and we're in Europe, we're in some kind of European competition. What type of players do you guys think I should be looking at to bring it into the team? Because I don't really know anymore. I had a huge kind of shopping list for the summer, but I didn't get any of those players. I didn't manage to secure any signatures for the ones that I wanted, apart from John Stones, Scott Sinclair and a couple of others, but the list has been largely untouched. James Ward-Prowse obviously is way too much. And by the way, Schlupp gives us the lead in the 76th minute with the header, the towering header over the defender. And we really needed that goal because this was a scrappy game where nothing happened. It was such a difficult game to actually play, just because it was very dull overall. But QPR came forward. They got very mad after conceding and they changed the mentality completely to a more attacking one. But yeah, let me know. Just throw some names my direction. I'll scout the players. Obviously, some of the players that you guys will suggest will be moved to other clubs by now, because a lot of people have said Joel Campbell, but he's gone to Dortmund. He's no longer realistic for us in the sense that we just wouldn't be able to secure his signature because he would cost too much. But throw some names at me anyway. I'll add them to my shortlist. I'll scout them. I'll see what they're like. I'll see if we can get some deals done at the end of the season, because we only have about 3 or 4 episodes left in this season, I think, before we'll be into the summer, which is the most exciting time for me playing as any team on career mode. But we end that game with a 1-0 victory. It was a hard fought victory. It was a well deserved victory too, and our next game is against Manchester City as we bring them to the King Power Stadium. Man City are amazing. They destroyed us in the snow last season in this fixture. They broke our hearts this season in this fixture. And as you can see, look at Arsenal in 5th place. They're still on 52 points. So even a loss here and a win for Arsenal in their next fixture would mean that they're just 1 point behind us. And I checked the fixtures, and that was because while we were playing against QPR, Arsenal actually went and lost 2-0 to Liverpool, which is really handy for us. And I often wonder if the AI does that on purpose, if they set it up so that if you're looking like you might achieve something, they sort of maybe rig the fixtures in a way. I don't know. I've always felt on FIFA 14 as though the seasons were scripted a little bit with how the other teams do against each other and things of that nature. But as you see here, in the 10th minute, Dwight Gale came pretty close, and we come up to the 41st minute. Now, this wasn't really a chance as much as it was a half chance. I just really liked the play, but it was a great block by the Man City defender inside the box. And this was another game that honestly was just incredibly dull for us. In the 63rd minute, Man City had Negredo on the ball, who played a good one too with Oscar before firing wide. And then we come up to the last few minutes in the game, and I've put this in to show you the type of football that Man City were playing. They were dominating the ball on the edge of our area, which is why there weren't so many chances for us, because if you dominate the ball around this part of the pitch where City are now, you're not going to leave a lot of room for players to counter-attack, because those players who stay forward are the ones who will come back to try and put in tackles. But Fernando in the 90th minute, the substitute who came on, I think, ended up breaking our hearts with a late City winner. And for the second time this season, we succumbed to a defeat at the hands of Manchester City when it looked as though another result was you know, possible. We almost got a draw. We almost held on, but it just wasn't to be. And our next game in the league is against Cardiff City, who we actually got our highest ever win against, was against Cardiff City. We won 4-0, and that's been the biggest victory of the season so far. Looking at the league table, you can see that they are rock bottom, and a win for Arsenal in their game in hand would see them become 1 point behind us. So we did need to get a win in this game and keep up the pressure. Cardiff's team is pretty good. I don't think it's amazing in Premier League standards, but I don't think our team is amazing either. I don't know how we're doing so well in the league. I guess it's just the players that have signed suit my style perfectly or whatever. But in the first minute, Tom Ince was trying to go and cut inside and go for the finesse shot, but Fabio, the Brazilian left back, actually fouled him, which led to a free kick. And I controlled Jeffrey Schlupp for the free kick and requested the short pass so I could go for the shot, which turned out to be the right thing to do, because Schlupp's shot went in, it was blocked, it went out for a corner, and I thought, fair enough, that's a good opportunity to do something. But the referee had other ideas, and he walked over and sent David Marshall off, and I had no idea what he had sent him off for. I just didn't understand it at all. until it showed the replay, and you see David Marshall dive to save the shot, and in doing so he took out Dwight Gale, which is something I mentioned in the last episode, or not the last one, but one of the previous episodes, that Kasper Schmeichel did that and he conceded a penalty, and it was really frustrating. But thankfully this time it goes in our favour. But bizarrely, I've never seen a red card for a foul in the box before that one on this game, and Zaha steps up to take the penalty against Simon Moore, and his first job of the day was to save that penalty, which he failed at. We take the lead, we go 1-0 up. I know Zaha celebrating against his former club, but it was only a loan deal. He's entitled to celebrate. We come up to the 10th minute looking to build on that, because anything that we could get going forward here wouldn't harm our goal difference, because we are behind Arsenal and Man City in those terms. We're about 5 goals behind Arsenal, I think. They're plus 22, we're plus 17. But in the 21st minute, Noon comes forward. He plays it into Lafondra, who had a really good shot that was saved by Kasper Schmeichel, and it went out for a corner kick. And then we come up to the half-hour mark with Cardiff on the ball. Lafondra coming forward. He plays it wide to Pilkington, who gets into a decent enough position to cross, taking it around Bakayoko. He passes it into Ekrem, who gets into the box and finishes with his left foot. I'm sorry if I mispronounced his name just then, but his finesse shot equalised for 10 men Cardiff, and I was a little bit worried here for a moment, but then I thought they were playing with like a defender missing. That, like, the way their formation looks, if you look at the radar right there, you'll see that there's a clear disconnect between their defence. But Kasper Schmeichel rolls the ball straight to Pilkington, who plays it into Diadjun, or however you pronounce his name, and he ended up making it 2-0 for the hosts, or 2-1 rather, and they completed their comeback just after going a goal behind in the 5th minute. It took them over half an hour, and now they were on the front foot, and I thought from here they're surely just going to shut up shop and go and park the bus. But they kicked off the second half. I thought they were going to attempt to maintain possession, but the ball comes back to Kala in defence, who gets dispossessed by Dwight Gale, and he couldn't do anything with his strength to get the ball back. Gale comes in and equalises for us, and then grabs the ball out of the net to symbolise a sense of urgency for us to get forward and try and get another goal. But a Cardiff City free kick in the 49th minute saw them come close, as the ball did come into their striker, but it came back out to Pilkington, who plays it to Lafondra, who was looking for a gap to try and exploit. He finds Noon, who gets dispossessed by Gale, who played it to Camera, who found Ince, who plays an amazing pinpoint pass to Jeffrey Schlupp, the really fast striker, who gets into a great position to complete our comeback, and does so in the 51st minute, making it 3-2 and putting us back into the lead. And I was so happy when that happened, because it was actually a really good counter-attack. Cardiff kicked off after going a goal behind, then again Kala gets dispossessed by Dwight Gale. Dwight Gale completely running the show for us from a defensive perspective, and he gets in to finish and make it 4-2 and make the gap even wider, so that we could help our goal difference in that sense. But Cardiff did come forward trying to get something out of the game. Pilkington again going for the cross, intercepted by Bakayoko, who clears it to Zaha. He finds Jeffrey Schlupp coming forward, and now it's a 2-on-1 situation. Schlupp plays it into Dwight Gale, who's in a very advanced position, bearing down on goal in a similar way from when he scored. He nets his hat-trick. He makes it 5-2 to us, and that's an amazing comeback. I think overall we did manage to like, they had 10 men, they came back and they were 2-1 up, and we still managed to win the game with a good enough goal difference to actually make some kind of progress, and I thought that was a really good moment. But in the 79th minute, Ince almost scored a great goal. If that had gone in the first time volley, I would have been really happy. It wasn't to be, but I'm not too fussed. We did end with a 5-2 victory, a 3-goal gap as well, which is really, really nice. And we come out to look at the squad report, and you guys will actually see right here that John Stones has gone down to a rated 74 due to that injury, which is quite annoying, I guess, but I hope he can bounce back from that. I'm sure he can. I don't think injuries would be able to ravage a player's career in this type of game, but you never know how it'll go, I suppose. Tyler Blackett only rated 65 at the moment, and Wes Morgan is just always in the decline, but Jeffrey Schlupp has gone up to 68 rated. He scored 15 goals in 41 games. A lot of people have actually asked me what position do I play him in, because his default position on this game is left back. I've never played him left back in the whole series. I don't think. He's too fast and he's too good and he's too strong for that position, so I like to play him as either a centre forward or a striker, occasionally as a winger, but I think the likes of Sinclair, Grealish, Zaha, Knockaert, Ince, those are all better wingers, so I like to go with Schlupp up front because he makes up for how much of a terrible player Berahino is in that position. But Jack Grealish is still only, actually, his stats are still only recovering from his injury that he had. But Dwight Gale, 17 goals in 31 games is a really good return for the England striker, and I'm very, very happy with him so far this season. He got his second hat-trick of the season in this episode as well, which was really, really good. But here's a look at the league table as we close out the episode and the FIFA videos for the weekend. We're in 4th place. We've played 32 games. There are 6 games to go, which I reckon will be about 2 episodes. Only 2 episodes left this season. Arsenal have 2 games in hand over us. If they win both of them, they'll be a point behind us. So we still have to play Manchester United, and I think we still have to play Chelsea as well. So that's 2 games where we're looking at 2 almost certain defeats. So we're gonna have to dig really deep to maintain this position. I will be absolutely gutted if we don't get 4th, but you never know how it's gonna work out. I think like 5th. If you offered me it before the season, I would have taken it, but now it seems so far down because we've maintained this position for so long. But that's the end of the episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please do leave a like. That would be much appreciated. Also, thank you very much for 30,000 subscribers. That is an awesome number to have reached, and I really, really appreciate it. It's glad to finally be there, but I think I'll do another video about that by itself. But yeah, I've been El Dinero. Thanks for watching.